Yo, alright y'all, how to be a go-getter, virtual journal, volume deuce. Yeah, let's just get right into it. I'm gonna talk about how ideas are cool, but to me, the most important thing is execution. Like, that's it. You know, when I first started getting into the startup world or the world of entrepreneurship, right? And you come up with this cool, you have an idea, everything's idea, all the fun stuff, all the stuff that's sold to you, all the stuff that, oh, you know, sunshine and unicorns, is that what they say? Rainbows and unicorns? Basically, like coming up with the name for your company, coming up with this, and I have this idea, and then visualizing, all that is beautiful, all that is great, and all that has its time and place. Typically, it's in the inception of your company, or your idea, whatever. It's just like, we all have friends, maybe even family members, any of that, people that have ideas, and an idea is a spark, and you need a spark. If you're gonna have a fire, you need a spark, right? If you're gonna do your thing. But really, I wanna focus and talk about execution, because at the end of the day, if you're not executing, if you're not making it happen, then what is it? You know what I mean? That's all it is an idea. I can give you the key to success or whatever. I can say, hey, this is how you can become a multimillionaire. Boom. But until you actually do it, well, will you be able to reap the benefits? You know what I'm saying? So there's so much of an emphasis placed on that. People are always like, when I started a tech company, they're like, oh, don't tell people your idea, protect it. You don't want someone to steal your idea, da 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 da. Dude, first off, stealing an idea, and sure, if you disagree, drop a comment, let's talk, but I'm gonna tell you this much. It's really hard to steal an idea, because every person who creates something has their own flair of authenticity attributed and directly linked to that idea, that item, that product. So even if you were like, oh yeah, we're gonna do it just like this, but you can always have your own flair to it. And it's so much harder to replicate. Like if someone, like rest in peace Juice WRLD, they're like, all right, man, Juice WRLD has his own flow. You know, Juice WRLD's a rapper, artist, my favorite. And it's like, yeah, he has a certain sound. He has a certain, it's like, okay, am I just gonna take it and replicate it and all of a sudden I'm him? No. Like, it's not that easy, y'all. Everyone is unique. Everyone brings their own flair. So when people think, that's a misconception. There are so many common misconceptions when starting your own company. More importantly, I think the other misconception about starting your own company, and I'll bring this back to execution, but it's the fact that you need to spend all this money in the beginning. You know, I went through that. Oh, we needed this and we need that. And man, at the end of the day, you know what you're really doing when you're spending all this money and to bring it's like, you're just making excuses, honestly. Because the truth is, there's so much data, there's so much information. We're in the age of social media. There's so much learning, you know, for the free. You can literally get so much information without having to spend money. If you have an idea, then you can already start by, you know, surveying people. You can start by coming up with your own concepts. Like, you don't need to, all right, I have this idea, so I have to go make 1 million of them, or I have to buy the shop, and just people end up, they think that the misconception is that, oh, by doing all this, it's like, oh, then I am that, you know. And I get it, there is fake it till you make it to a certain degree, but I'll use the basketball analogy. When I first started playing basketball, I thought like, damn, like, you know, if I buy, I need to get the best shoes, I need to get this, I need to get this new gear, any new gear that I could get. I just kept getting all these things when at the end of the day, what I really needed to do was just take my ass to the damn basketball court and start working on my own skills, play games, work on weaknesses, learn the game, all this stuff that's for free, you know, all this stuff that you can go to the park right now. And that's why, like, when I got older and the last couple years, I started pulling up to basketball courts in Shaq shoes. And if anyone knows Shaq brand shoes, shouts out to Shaq. Love you, man. Hope to work with you soon. But Shaq shoes are like these $20, $30 shoes that you get at like Walmart. And there's nothing wrong with that, obviously, because I balled out in them and I filmed it so people can see. But there's just this misconception about, oh, I need the $300 pair, or I need the freshest pair. Yeah, you need swag, you need confidence. And there are ways to build your confidence, whether it's in your product, whether it's in yourself, without really having to spend. And I'm not saying that to be cheap. I'm saying that in the world of your own idea, your own business, if you don't have funds, there comes a point where when you're scaling your business, you need funds, right? Because in order to move forward. But in the beginning, there's so much you can learn before even taking that extra step. Like, you know, I'm doing stuff now where I'm like, that's what I think about. Okay. When friends come to me and like, hey, I have this idea, I'm executing, I'm like, all right, cool. You know, there's so much you can learn without having to spend. The only thing you're gonna spend is time, right? And look at that as already an investment, which is fine. You're gonna learn, you're gonna grow, and yeah. So bringing it back to execution, that's the most important thing. Like, all the successful people I know, and I say quote unquote successful, just people that have, to me, it just means people that have achieved the goals that they want, people that are able to look themselves in the mirror and say, you know what, I'm happy with the position, I'm happy with what I've been able to accomplish, and I'm working forward towards more goals. It doesn't have to be financially all the time. Obviously, they have to be financially stable, but it's someone that more importantly is like believing in the journey. Like, taking that first step is great. It's huge compared to just having the idea, and you got to execute, man. So how do you execute? That's a good question. Let's talk about that real quickly. How to execute? Honestly, make an outline. Make a thing of they call it low-hanging fruit. What's the easiest things that we can do to obtain the most information and the most forward progress as possible? Write that down. Get the top 3. Go do the top 3. Don't do 10 things. Like, once again, another misconception. People write down 10 things and they go try to do all 10. And guess what? Now you're in a whole world of your mind, scatterbrain, all this stuff. It really has to be simplified. Simplify your life, simplify your goals, pick things out, write 3 things down each day. You can do this each day. You want to execute today, right? Pick 3 things, execute them. Like, by the end of the day, just get those 3 things done. You move forward towards your goal. If you have a list of 10 things, I promise you probably won't get through all 10. Just because mentally you're already putting yourself in like this battle of like super uphill, as opposed to, oh, 3 that's more palatable. That's doable. It's all mindset. And yeah, you can have an idea, it's great, but I personally would take the person that executes and gets things done 10 times out of 10. 9 times out of 10. You always get that anomaly. You always get that outlier. You could be that outlier. But then the person that just has ideas and doesn't lift a finger or whatever, you're like, cool, man. I have 20 ideas right now. Guess what? Warren Buffett even said it. He said, all right, you have 20 ideas? Okay, cool. Write down the top 5. Okay, I wrote down the top 5. And he goes, you know what you do with the other 15? You do everything in your power not to do those 15 until these 5 are done. Literally, he just said it. You pick these 5, you pick these goals, you execute these goals. The other ones are now distractions. It takes discipline to do that. Discipline. You want to execute? You gotta be disciplined. Pick little things, set little goals. So I'll leave you with that gem today. Pick 3 things, get it done. If you can't do 3, do 1, do 2. You know, you gotta be a go-getter though. This is go-getter stuff. So if a go-getter can't do 1 or 2 things, well then, hey, keep trying, keep working. This is what it takes. And another thing, just learn from every single thing. We'll do another video on the journal, and it'll be about perspective, about how to look at things, how to process quote unquote failure, how to process success. You know, people think success, oh, I don't have to, oh, it worked. No, there's things you can learn about both. There's always a balance. There's a duality to all things. But anyway, y'all, get out there, execute, subscribe. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you at the next virtual journal. Peace.